Thank you very much again for joining us this afternoon, this morning, wherever you may be, to the third Water Tenure Mondays webinar in the second edition of the Water Tenure Mondays, focusing on experiences and water tenure assessments in Asia and Pacific. My name is Benjamin Kirsch. I am coordinating the ScaleWatt project, the project which is behind this webinar series. I'm based in Berlin, Germany, and I am happy to be moderating the session this morning. Today, we will talk about water tenure assessment in Cambodia. And we have with us Dr. Solieng Mak, Chair of the Cambodia Water Partnership, who will present the results of a water tenure assessment in the Staung River Basin in Cambodia. I would like to give you some useful information before continuing to the presentation. Please note that this session is being recorded, and we will also put the recording on our website, where you also can find the recordings of the previous sessions for the benefit of the people who cannot join us today but are interested in learning about this interesting case. Please keep your microphone muted. We are here in a meeting modality, so it's possible to speak in the discussion part later on. But while we present, please keep it muted, and please contact Tona, Susanna, who you will find. She's our co-host this morning and can assist you with any technical issue you might have. Please, again, introduce yourself using the chat box. And if you have questions that come up during the presentation, please use the question and answer box. We have with us Domiti Vallée, a good colleague based in France and working in the region, and she will help us with the questions and answers. That said, again, a warm welcome to you to this Water Tenure Mondays webinar. We we are organizing this webinar series to focus on the Asia and Pacific region, where FAO has been supporting water tenure assessments since 2021, and this is part of a larger initiative that gears towards the global dialogue on water tenure, which some of you may have heard, based on a recommendation of FAO's Committee on Agriculture, with a view to developing principles for responsible governance of water tenure. Water scarcity is rising in Asia and the Pacific, and vulnerable groups, particularly like smallholder farmers, fisherfolk, are often affected by this water scarcity. And these oftentimes rely on customary water tenure arrangements or practices that are not always formally recognized. And it's important to look at these users and these arrangements and see how their arrangements can be protected, defined, recognized, and implemented in practice. We will share in this webinar series different country cases. We already had sessions on Vietnam. On next week there will be Indonesia, and Thailand. So please tune into our to all our sessions and look at what a water tenure assessment can bring to this debate. Now, this session, as I said, is part of the regional dialogue on water tenure, which we will be organizing together with regional partners, and notably the Global Water Partnership, Southeast Asia in the Southeast Asia region in April, May next year. Thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to a very lively and interactive session. I'm happy to introduce to you Dr. Solieng Mak, today's speaker, and she is the chair of the Cambodia Water Partnership. Solieng has a master's in applied science in general agriculture from the Centro Universitario Pinar del Rio in Cuba, and a PhD in social ecology and people-centered development from the University of Western Sydney in Australia. And she has long working experience as team leader for the Farming System Socioeconomic Research Program with the Cambodia Agricultural Research and Development Institute and different other partners. Since 2016, she is the chair of the Cambodia Partnership and the Global Water Partnership Steering Committee member since 2016. And this is very important because, as I said in the beginning, we are very much collaborating with the Global Water Partnership in this endeavor for the regional dialogue. So, Solieng, you have the floor, and please tell us about the water tenure assessment in the Staung River Basin, Cambodia.
Thank you very much, Ben, and thanks for the opportunity to share experience of water tenure assessment in Cambodia. And next slide, please. Tona, next. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yes, I would like to inform you that this case study is focused more in the Stung River Basin. And first of all, I would like to make a summary of the water tenure assessment. The key findings specific to Stung River Basin is that the agency control, which is applied in water use for rice irrigation, covering 90 to 95% of the total water use, dominates water supply, inland fishing, and in stream needs of the Tonle Sap, of the Tonle Chma Lake Ramsar site. Gender differences are not found in the implementation of the water tenure arrangement, including water access as well as tenure holding. Conflicting interests were found in agency control with other use tenures. One is water supply, two is stream, and three in inland fishing. We also found that the competition between the small and large rice landholders take place. Illegal and sustainable practices in water use were also two main problems found. Users perceiving water as common public property, low awareness of legal provisions, and weak law enforcement and local governance affect the security of all non-irrigation water users. Next slide, please. With this situation, we recommend that the subordinate legislation necessary for the proper implementation of water law should be developed and adopted as soon as reasonably possible. That the institutional arrangement within the water tenure assessment areas including the establishment of the Stung River Basin Committee for and farmer water user communities within the public irrigation scheme are established. 3. That institutional capacity for integrated water resource management and governance in Moram and Pidoram is strengthened with development partner support. Establish the legal record system of all water users and conduct triannual monitoring of tenure implementation. The water tenure arrangement for small landholders and indigenous communities are strengthened through awareness raising programs and law enforcement. And the community participation and transparency in water governance is increased through targeted stakeholders engagement processes and enhance the new security of Bangchma Ramsar site by ensuring environmental flow. Next, please. So this water tenure assessment outcome can apply for the whole country. We should see that the similar application of water tenure arrangement should be applied in other river basin within the country. If in case that more evidences are required, more fieldwork in other river basins need to be conducted. In specific river basin where large-scale water use by other sectors, such as hydropower development and large pollution is being produced from mining, should be explored. FAO can support the water tenure assessment in other river basins by considering the river basins that grows intensive rice farming. Next, please. Yes, now my presentation will follow the context, scope, methodology, and after that, findings and conclusion and recommendation. Next, please. Yes. Actually, Cambodia faces complex water management landscape characterized by significant seasonal variations with excess water during the wet season and severe shortages during the dry season. Poor infrastructures and gaps in the technical and institutional capacity pose serious challenges to sustainable water management. However, Cambodia still has the potential to manage and avoid severe water scarcity in the future through proper planning and sustainable practices. This water tenure assessment is part of the preliminary water scarcity program work in Cambodia to complement and enhance the findings of the water scarcity scoping study. It was undertaken in accordance with the methodology set out in Hodgson et al. With 6 steps, includes an analysis of rights, responsibilities, governance frameworks, and power dynamics related to water access and use, with attention to gender equality, disability, and social inclusion. Next, please. We aim to understand formal and informal water tenure arrangement in the Stung River Basin, and we intended to achieve the following outputs: apply formal and customary water tenure arrangements in the assessment area through desk review. After that, field research conducted to validate and supplement findings from the desk review, and followed by the analysis and synthesis of research findings and validation and dissemination of findings, like we do it right now. To conduct this assessment, we follow the qualitative approach to water tenure analysis by using focus group discussion to gather information on water tenure generated by interaction between groups of irrelevant stakeholders, semi-structured interview to capture social processes and to understand how social realities are shaped from the stakeholder perspectives, and direct observation to gather information relating to water tenure in practice in the real situation. Next, please. Yes, this is a research site. It is a Stung River Basin, which delineate the Stung River that flows from the Tabang Mountain in Prairie Province and flow down to the discharge to the Bang Tonle Chma Ramsasai and then to Tonle Sap River, Tonle Sap Lakes, sorry, to the Tonle Sap Lake. Actually, this Stung River Basin cover mainly two districts. Two main districts. One is Sangkum Thamai District, located in Prairie Province, and another one whole district of Staung River in Staung in Kampong Thom Province, about a half of the Prolai district in Kampong Thom Province too. Yes, and we have conducted 9 direct observation in the river basin with main focus in Staung District because it is where the water use and the water development and operation activities take place, which is close to the floodplain and Tonle Sap Lake, the Great Lake. Yes. So the first, our direct observation is to understand water, to know water better, and to know all water-related infrastructures and people using these water resource. So we have been to the Samsap Kanya reservoir, which is the big reservoir that regulate the Stung River. We also visit the canal and via of Batrang, PM reservoir that they are developing now to improve and expand the water resource availability and to address the water scarcity during the dry season. Then we visited the Nieng Solieng fishing village near to the Bang Tonle Chma, near to the wetland. Then we visited the Kankol Canal where it has been collapsed at the moment. We visited the private canal, which was developed on the small stream near Solieng River, which also blocked to store the water during the dry season. Then we visited the Sanko Canal, Tumpet village, and Smile village, where the ethnic minorities are settled. Next slide, please. Yes, we arrived to the following outcomes. First, water users and users. We identify water supply with 3 categories: the urban infrastructure operated by Staung Autonomous Water Supply Authority, rural infrastructure by private water supply, and also Staung Autonomous Water Supply Authority, rural unimproved, which used by the villagers, the farmers, where they live nearby the river, so they use directly the river water or lake. And now we could see that there are increasing use of groundwater operated by motor as well. We also identify water use in agriculture mainly, which is a public irrigation scheme, which is operated by Moram and Provincial Department of Water Resource and Meteorology. The small-scale private irrigation, one that was operated by the private investor to irrigate the cash crop. Livestock watering, the farmer tend to use it and but not very large water use. They tend to raise the carabaos near to the wetland area where the carabao can soak themselves in the muddy or flooded wetland. And aquaculture, of, where some folks also live near to the wetland and water source area where they could have enough water for pond aquaculture. We also have in-stream use, which is the in-stream for the flow, the minimal flow for the Bang Tuan Lich Maramsar site that need to be maintained, minimal flow for conservation and for reserve, particularly the broodstock and other biodiversities. And there is also in use for inland fishing by the fisher folks, and the wetland activities, generally the collection of the vegetable, aquatic vegetable, and aquatic animals like clams, shells, etc. And these tend to be collected by the poor villagers, poor farmers who live nearby the wetlands area. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are photo of the water uses that we have observed. In the left-hand side, you can see the agricultural use, the dam, the small dam, the canal, aquaculture, carabao soaking in the small pond nearby the canal at the wetland area. Water supply infrastructure, the community pipe water system and well used by the community in a remote area, and inland fishing, and people also do smoke fish nearby the fishing village, and the Samsep Kanya Reservoir. We also have, like, for example, we met the old lady who went to collect the herbal plants in the wetland area. And as you could see, the man on the boat, he is collecting the shell and clams. Next slide, please. Yes, in terms of water tenure arrangement, at the end of the assessment, the stakeholders agreed that we use rice to water use as a term for water tenure arrangement. As you know, the definition of water tenure is long, so people like to use the short term, and that embed all the meaning. Yes, so water tenure is defined as the relationship, whether legally or customarily defined, between people as individuals or groups with respect to water resources. So they agreed that we use rights to water tenure, to use water yet. So in terms of typology of water tenure, we had identified 10 type of water tenure, with 4 as the water tenure derived from formal law, including permit-based formal water tenure rights. But as you could see here, it is not applied in any water use. It is due to the absence of water license, so that we could not implement this. But in fact, it has been the provision of this water use has been provided by water law under Article 12. Agency control, which is applied in the public irrigation scheme, and it is operated by the the Ministry of Water and Meteorology, and under the sub-decree in 1999 for sub-decree for the function for the establishment and function of the Ministry of Water and Meteorology. The minimis small-scale water rights. This is provided by Article 11 of the Water Law, and it is applied to the rural unimproved livestock watering and aquaculture. The reserve minimum flows also is provided by the Water Law and Environmental Code. However, it is not implemented due to the absence of water licensing, and the minimum flow has not been set so that it can be implemented. We have identified two semi-formal water tenure arrangement, which include farmer irrigation arrangement, which is applied to the public irrigation scheme, and drinking water arrangement, which is applied to the rural infrastructure and urban infrastructure. And we identify four types of water tenure arrangement which are not derived from formal law, including customary water tenure, which is applied by the local community, the fishery community, who prepare reserve conservation area in which the water pond is reserved whole year round in order to conserve and reserve the broodstock and for reproduction and for conserving important species. We also have identified assumed water rights, which is the community piped water system, and it is rural infrastructure supported by World Vision International and UNICEF in order to ensure that the coverage of water supply reach to them, to the poor community and who are living in the remote area. And we also identify informal water tenure. This is the water tenure that is illegal because it is developed on the rivers in the small stream, but its operation did not allow the flow to go down to the river at the downstream of this river stream. Water flow. Small stream river to the downstream river. So it is against the article number 27 of the water law. However, it is informal, but because the water administrative is tolerating with this water tenure, there is also the last water tenure, informal water tenure that we identify, which unrecognized water tenure, and it is applied with the inland fishing. Inland fishing is provided by fishery administration, fishery laws, but with regard to the water tenure, there is no provision for this, and there is no guarantee or security for inland fishing during the dry season, particularly. Also, unrecognized water tenure is applied to the wetland activities, where the water is required to maintain all these wetland product and biodiversities. Next slide, please.
You have 3 minutes, please, Solieng.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, so I have to go quick now. We also have done the new governance with 15 description of indicators. And if you see the dark green means that the governance, the degree of governance is provided with full law frameworks and completely implemented and implemented effectively. This is given to the human rights angle and gender, the gender socially at disadvantaged users and policy coherence. They are the provision are provided and implementation still need improvement. And mostly the water tenure arrangement that we had identified in terms of tenure governance, they are mostly C description, particularly in terms of indicator related to record of formal water tenure arrangements. There is no record of this measurement of water source resources in the assessment area. There's not been assessment or measurement of the water withdrawal for irrigation, for example, which is the large water use. Planning and assessment in the assessment area, there has not been prepared due to there is no river basin management committee yet. Participation decision making at the river basin aquifer level, etc. This is particularly referred to the farmer water user community to have their decision making in water allocation for their rice cultivation. Environmental aspects, such as the assessment of the impact of water use on the environment, on water, etc. And floods and drought, yes, there are provision are there, but improvement need a lot of expansion, and the processes of participation is required. And D, which is which means that the governance is still not fully provided and no implementation. This include implementation of formal water tenure arrangements because there are absent of some subordinate of the water law which are required for governance of the water tenure, like for example water licensing. Water quality has not been assessed. Inspection and enforcement of the water tenure arrangement implementation is very is not implemented. Permanent readjustment of water allocation on public investment grounds, and recognition of customary arrangement and other legitimate uses. For climate change, actually in Cambodia we apply and we mainstream climate change in all water policy and all other water sector policies and strategic plan. However, in Stung River Basin, we do not have a river basin plan yet, so we did not rate this indicator. Next slide, please. And regarding relationship analysis, we found that the conflicting interest between irrigation and other users, including water supply, inland fishing, and in-stream use, particularly in the dry season when there is water shortages. And competition between small and large-scale rice landholders occurred generally almost every year, particularly when the farmers now increase or expand their cultivation. Illegal practices such as draining the dam to cultivate dry season rice by some farmers, like 4 commune, also were found in this assessment. Next slide, please.
Could you come too close to also
Okay,
answer the questions that we
okay,
have coming in? Thank you,
okay.
Solieng.
Yes. I, yes, and next slide, please, to the conclusion. Because like this gender inclusion, etc., I had discussed already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, conclusion, yes, the main water uses identifying Stung River Basin, as you know already. We have agriculture, which use very large volume of water, water supply, inland fishing and in steam use for the Ramsar site. And formal water tenure arrangement include agency control, diminish small-scale rise, permit-based rise, and minimum flows, but pending the adoption of necessary subordinate legislation yet to be implemented in practice. And other type of water tenure, semi-formal water tenure, farmer irrigation arrangement and drinking water arrangement, and informal water tenure, including customary water tenure, motorized informal water tenure, and unrecognized water tenure. Next, please. And the key problem identified in this water tenure assessment include weak water governance, illegal activities, competition over water resource, climate change and water scarcity, unsustainable practices, and fishery and wetlands degradation are challenges which need to be addressed in water resource governance and governance of water tenure arrangement. The combination of user perceiving water as common public property, low awareness of legal provision, and weak law enforcement and local governance affect the security of all non-irrigation water users and increase water scarcity of these users. Next, please. So we recommend that to address all these problems, we recommend that the subordinate legislation necessary for the proper implementation of the water law should be developed and adopted as soon as reasonably possible. And at the same time, care should be taken to ensure that appropriate financial support is provided to ensure its prompt implementation and effective enforcement, that institutional arrangement with the water tenure assessment areas, including the establishment of the River Basin Management Committee for the Stung River Basin and farmer water user community within the public irrigation scheme should be established, financed, and staffed as soon as reasonably practical, and the necessary training should be provided so that they can fulfill their respective mandates, that this including also training to civil society stakeholders and water users. Next slide, please. We also recommend that the water tenure arrangement for smallholders, small landholders, and indigenous community are strengthened through awareness raising programs and law enforcement, that the community participation and transparency in water governance is increased through targeted stakeholders engagement processes, the institutional capacity for integrated water resource management and governance in the Ministry of Water Resource Meteorology and the provincial water resource meteorology is strengthened with development partner support, and open access legal record of all water tenure arrangement established, and triennial monitoring of the new implementation is conducted. And water tenure for Bangtan Ramsar site is strengthened by defining, implementing, and monitoring an appropriate environment. Thank you very much for your
Thank
attention.
you very much, Solieng, for this very comprehensive presentation. And I think it sheds a lot of light on the different water users and users, and some of them, let's say, we can say, are hidden, huh? Are not considered by the by formal water legislation. We have 5 questions in the chat, and I would like to invite you to address them quickly. So we get through all of them. Raimon Valian from the Global Water Partnership Southeast Asia asks the main national institution in Cambodia, I presume, is the Ministry of Water Resources, which has overall responsibility for water resources management. However, the water governance is decentralized. Can you explain a bit more about the arrangements, both formal and informal, at the farm level that govern access to water?
Yep. Thank you for your question, Dr. Raymond. So your question is arrangement uh, of water governance uh,
At
at
the farm
the
level, both
at
formal
the
and
farm
informal.
level. Yeah, yeah, yes. Actually, for most of the provinces and river basin, they have farmer water user community to by sub degree uh, to decide, allocate the water resource for the farmers members in irrigating their rice farms, mostly rice farm. Yeah. Um, and this is provided by the government under sub decree. So the farmers, the group of farmers who join together to establish the farmer water user community, they have all these arrangement, and they, if in case that they have any problem or any demand for water, they go directly to the leader of the farmer water user community. So this is provided by law, and people can make arrangement for their irrigation. However, in the Stung River Basin, the irrigation is operated uh, directly by the provincial Department of Water Resource and Meteorology. It was due to the operant is on the big dam. It's at the big dam level, and but the mechanism for this access to irrigation is through like request and local request to the community leader, and the community leader provided this request to the Provincial Department of Water Resource Meteorology to Pidoram, so that they plan the crop calendars for the resource water resource allocation. So they have scheduled for that, and due to it is a big scheme, and there are extended rice farm. Probably this mechanism is not through sorrow, it's not sorrow for the arrangement of the implementation, but the problem that they can have is mostly in the during the dry season when there is water shortage.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Solieng. Uh, Domiti has another question. Domiti, do you want to come in and ask your question?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Solieng. I think it was interesting to see that you highlighted that the rural infrastructure had only assumed water rights. So, is there a risk that the drinking water supply for the communities is affected if you do have a formal right in the basin? I mean, that just get approved. What are they protected?
Yes, it's very important question. Actually, rural infrastructure is operated by the Staung Stung Autonomous Water Supply Authority. Actually, they have infrastructure and they have for operation for urban and also for the rural areas. There are communes that they have covered. I think it is about less than 50%. So now they are going to expand for that to the rural community, like to rural remote areas. At the same time, also rural infrastructure operated by the private investors, but they also face some water scarcity because for the SALSA, for the Stung Autonomous, they have they have groundwater during the dry season to mitigate risk in case of water shortage. But rural infrastructure, the water supply at the rural area that, is also implemented by the community. It is operated by the community after the World Vision International supported them. So they have small infrastructure and they operated in the remote area, where the Staung Autonomous Water Supply Authority could not reach. So it is assumed water tenure arrangement. It is because this water tenure arrangement is registered with the Ministry of Rural Development, which is the ministry in charge of rural water supply. Is it risky or not? But if we do analysis, we could see that it could be risky in case that other users, like for example, from agriculture, which is the major user and the large volume user sector. If these users, for example, particularly in agriculture, do not consider or do not recognize the need for water use, for water supply by the rural community, yeah, it is risky. It is because there is no water licensing that is provided by the administrative water sector to limit the agriculture sector to withdraw. Like for example, during the dry season, agriculture could withdraw this much water only. But at the moment, we do not have. So community piped water system is assumed waterized. It is because this water use also depend on uses, like particularly from agriculture, which withdraw a lot of water.
Thank you very much.
So in the future, in the future, and I think soon the World Bank will develop the water licensing so we could improve this security.
Thank you. Barbara, you had a question, very interesting question about the recognition of customary rights. You want to come in?
Okay, thank you. And thanks very much for a very interesting presentation with all the challenges. And the question is how to recognize customary water tenure, or also the smaller scale irrigators versus the more commercial, larger scale irrigators. Because there is the idea of registration and licensing, which would give security, but there are also de minimis users, really small scale users. A lot of customary users are small. It will be impossible to register everybody, or let alone give a license. So how do you protect and recognize the people who will never get a license? because administratively it's too complex to give everybody a license or even register? A big question, not only in Cambodia.
Yes, thank you for your question, Barbara. Actually, for small scale diminished water rights, they are provided under Article 11 of the water law. However, people are not, they may aware, but maybe some are aware, but the majority of the rural area and particularly the remote area, they are not aware about this provision that the law provides to them. So they use water like customary water tenure, like because the water resources are there, so where they can access, they can use. But in the water law, it stated clearly that for family-based, for domestic use, small gardening, etc., they can use water freely without a permit. However, they are not, because the law enforcement and dissemination of water law has been very limited, particularly to the rural remote area. So how we make sure that these are recognized? I think the dissemination of the water laws to rural community, to everyone, particularly those who use large volume of water for agriculture. They need to be aware that they need to use water without exercising impacts on other water uses, particularly the smallholders, the small landholders, and rural remote communities who depend very much on water in the local area, and particularly if they are very far from the water resource, the water source. Yes. So one should be that. And the important is to register all water users, and particularly the large scale users. They need to make sure that they are recorded, the volume they use, the volume they withdraw, so that how they need to keep the mainstream flow. And also there is need to do to implement the governance of water tenure governance. It means that the MORAM, which is the administrative water sector, should conduct maybe regular monitoring of water governance, and probably there could be processes that diverse stakeholders in the river basin also go through the participatory process of water governance to understand, because when they participate, they can understand and they can coordinate with each other, so that the water use will be coordinated. Any water development could be coordinated, so that all stakeholders, all users could be protected their rights. Because if not everyone are not aware about the law, everyone are not implemented the water law and the water governance monitoring and recording, this could not be achieved in the future.
Thank you.
Answer your question.
Thank you very much. I think as Barbara said, I mean, this is a long discussion, and we will not be able to resolve it in the short time of this webinar. Of course, it also goes very much into the direction of participation, as you say. I think also the link to the accounting of water resources, as you say, is very very important to the recognition starts with knowing how much water is actually being used and putting this into the water balances that then feed into the water resources planning, etc. That's another very important point. Thank you very much all for your for this very lively interaction. Unfortunately, our time is up. There are still some questions, and Solieng, if you agree, I would share these questions with you afterwards, so you can answer them in writing, because yeah, we have only one hour in this webinar, and need to come to a close. Thank you again very much to all of you for participating, for engaging, for putting your questions. I see we have 34 persons connecting from all over the world to listen in to this webinar series, which is great. I would like to point you to our website, the ScaleWatt website, where we have the videos of the previous editions, the PowerPoints, and of course also Solieng's PowerPoint will be available there, so you can look at it and revise it. Further sessions will always be announced by email. If you are registered, you will automatically receive a message for our next webinars. We have 2 webinars upcoming this year. Still next week, we have a very interesting case from Indonesia. Mova Al-Afghani will be presenting, and on the 15th of December, 2 cases will be presented from Thailand. So please join us for these webinars as well. And we also have prepared a small survey for you, where you can put in your feedback and also your suggestions for the next sessions, because in the new year we will be introducing a second series which will focus on water allocation, innovations, and linkages of water tenure to other natural resources. And there's still some slots available. So if you have an idea of presentations, please let us know through this Google form, which is being shared. Also, we will be launching a campaign of water tenure, water governance champions in the region. Please stay tuned for that. And finally, as I said in the beginning, all this work will lead to the regional dialogue on water tenure, which we aim to organize next year in April or May, together with the Global Water Partnership Southeast Asia. So please stay tuned to all these developments. Thank you very much to you, Solieng, for making the time this afternoon and introducing us to this very important study that you've conducted on water tenure arrangements and how it can improve water governance and water allocation. Thank you very much to Sophia and Tona and Domiti, who were here working very hard behind the scenes today to make this webinar happen. This is a team effort, let's say, by colleagues of in FAO headquarters and FAO in the regional office in Bangkok. And with that, of course, thank you again to all of you. and hope to see you in the next sessions again next week on Indonesia and in 2 weeks on Thailand. Thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day.